Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and bring you knowledge that, well, actually empowers you.
That's the goal.
So today, we're taking a deep plunge into something really practical, I think. It's this idea of showing up imperfectly and how doing that lets you intentionally design, or as we're calling it, blueprint abundance.
Blueprinting abundance. I like that. It's
Yep,
apt as.
exactly. And our inspiration for this comes from Naomi Sadiq, who hosts the Abundance Blueprint podcast. We're looking at her link tree, some of her work, and this really candid bonus episode she put out.
Right.
You know that feeling, don't you? The pressure to have everything lined up perfectly, waiting for the right moment.
Oh, definitely. The elusive perfect timing.
Yeah, this myth that success only happens when the stars align. But what if? What if chasing that is what's actually holding you back?
It often is.
So what does it really mean to build something real, something meaningful, when life just keeps, throwing curveballs?
Which it always does.
And this blueprinting abundance thing, it's not about waiting passively, right? It's about designing those small, consistent actions that create opportunity, even when things are messy.
And Naomi Sadiq has some really insightful, practical thoughts on that. It's a message that resonates, I think, particularly now.
Why do you think it hits so hard right now?
Well, we're just bombarded, aren't we? Information, expectations. It's easy to feel completely overwhelmed. Or worse, kind of stuck, paralyzed by it all.
Yeah, decision fatigue is real.
Totally. And Naomi's approach, it's like this refreshing counter-narrative. It says, hey, you don't have to be perfect to move forward.
Right.
What's fascinating is how her focus on authentic, persistent action gives you this practical roadmap. It doesn't matter if you're building a business, a community project, or even working on a personal goal.
And she seems to live it too, right? She's an entrepreneur, a podcast host. She talks about the challenges, but also seems to be navigating them herself.
Exactly. That makes her insights feel very grounded, very actionable, not just theory.
So let's talk a bit more about who Naomi Sadiq is. As I mentioned, she hosts the Abundance Blueprint podcast.
Right.
And her focus is on helping entrepreneurs, and she uses this distinct term, thrivers.
Thrivers, not just survivors.
Exactly. It implies actively using challenges for growth, focusing on resilience, strategic progress. She helps them with things like policy reviews, branding, storytelling.
Practical tools for growth.
Yeah. And what really jumps out is her digital presence. It's pretty expansive. She's active on WhatsApp, TikTok, Facebook, Patreon, Pinterest.
Wow, covering a lot of ground there.
And the central piece connecting it all is her link tree. It acts as this single gateway to her whole world.
Okay, that multi-platform thing is interesting. It's not just about being everywhere, is it? It sounds like a deliberate strategy.
How so?
Well, you connect it to the bigger picture, like modern entrepreneurship. That link tree becomes what I'd maybe call a digital anchor.
Digital anchor, okay.
Yeah. Think about it. Audiences are scattered everywhere online. A good link tree, it's not just a list, it's a central hub. It stops people getting lost.
So no matter if they find her on TikTok or Facebook.
Exactly. They have one consistent place to go to find everything else, the podcast, products, services, everything. It funnels that attention.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Keeps the brand cohesive in a fragmented world.
Crucial. Especially for building something resilient. It shows she's thinking strategically about how people engage with her work.
Okay, good point about the strategy behind it. Now let's get to the heart of her philosophy, this idea of showing up imperfectly.
Yes, this is powerful stuff.
It really comes alive in this Bonus Tuesday episode she did.
Yep.
It was dated August 12th, 2025.
Okay.
And what makes it hit home is that she's totally upfront about recording it late. Not just busy, but like dealing with some major personal stuff.
That takes courage to share.
It really does. But she put it out anyway because she felt the message itself was just too important to hold back.
So what was the story?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting and honestly super relatable. She starts by just painting this picture of her week.
Okay.
She's juggling kids' school schedules, business deadlines, the usual chaos, right? But then, bam, unexpected curveballs.
Like what?
She mentions realizing her driver's license was suspended, seemingly out of nowhere, or having her housing plans suddenly shift overnight, like major disruptions.
Wow. That's a lot to handle at once.
Exactly. The kind of week that could easily derail anyone. And she admitted, and I really appreciated this honesty, she said something like, if I'm honest, this week reminded me that the illusion of perfect timing is just that, an illusion.
Powerful realization. Hits home.
Totally. And her core message, born from that really tough week, was crystal clear. Don't stop. show up anyway.
Even when it's hard.
Yes. Her exact words were, even late, even imperfect, even tired, we show up. That phrase, it really stuck with me.
And that's where you see the real psychological depth, but also the practical side of it. So many of us think we need perfect conditions to start something or even just to keep going.
Absolutely. We wait and wait.
Right. And it raises that question, doesn't it? How often do we hold ourselves back, waiting for that perfect moment, for everything to align perfectly?
And just taking one small step is what actually gets things moving.
Precisely. That's the real catalyst.
Yeah.
Naomi's story isn't just, an anecdote. It's a powerful illustration of how striving for perfection, well, it often leads straight to paralysis.
Yeah, you get stuck, overthinking, doubting.
Exactly. Trapped in that cycle. Delay, self-doubt, stagnation. What Naomi champions, by embracing imperfection, it's like a superpower for progress.
A superpower. How so?
It's about understanding that done is better than perfect. Not as an excuse for sloppy work, but as a strategic choice to build momentum.
Okay. So it's about moving forward, not necessarily about flawlessness.
Right. It acknowledges that those small, consistent actions, even if they're not perfectly polished, are what create real results. It frees you from those impossible standards we set.
That makes sense. But is there a risk there? Like, when does showing up imperfectly just become an excuse for not trying hard enough?
That's a really important point. It's a fine line, isn't it? I don't think Naomi is saying disregard standards entirely.
Okay.
It seems more like a pragmatic approach. It's about taking action when ideal conditions just aren't there, which, let's face it, is most of the time.
True.
So it's about maintaining that forward motion, but with integrity, even if the execution isn't, shiny and perfect.
Right. It's not about lowering standards, maybe just changing the approach to meeting them when life gets messy.
Exactly. And building on that, she has this really refreshing take on balance.
Ah, yes, balance, the eternal struggle.
Right. We chase this idea of juggling everything flawlessly, never dropping a ball.
Which is basically impossible.
Totally impossible. So Naomi clarifies, balance isn't that. It's not juggling every ball flawlessly.
Okay, so what is it then?
She says it's more like deciding which ball can drop today without shattering and which one needs both hands.
I like that analogy. It feels achievable, more human.
Doesn't it? It acknowledges the messiness, the unpredictability of real life. It gives you permission to prioritize.
And from that idea of realistic balance, she introduces her concept of abundance.
Yes.
And again, it's not some huge one-off thing. She calls it a rhythm of small, intentional actions stacked on each other.
A rhythm. I like that. Dynamic, ongoing.
Yeah. And she even draws this interesting parallel. She references the rule of 72.
The financial rule for doubling investments.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Most people know it from finance, estimating how long it takes money to double.
Right.
But Naomi applies that principle to something deeper. The growth of faith, resilience, purpose.
Applying compounding growth to personal qualities. That's clever.
Yeah, it's all about that compounding effect.
Yeah.
Consistent, even imperfect efforts stacking up over time in these really crucial areas.
What's really fascinating there is the shift, right? Moving away from that static, perfect picture of balance that's often just impossible to reach.
Yeah, it sets you up for failure almost.
Exactly. And shifting towards this dynamic, rhythmic process that actually acknowledges, hey, life is complicated, things change.
It feels much more forgiving.
It does. Naomi's definition gives us permission to be human, to make strategic choices about our energy without feeling guilty. The wisdom is realizing you can't do everything perfectly all the time.
So sometimes letting a ball drop, it's not failure, it's strategy.
Precisely. Strategically deprioritizing something for a bit allows you to focus your limited energy where it's truly needed most right now.
And that rule of 72 connecting it to personal growth, is quite a refrain.
It really is insightful. We understand compounding with money, but she shows how the same exponential growth applies to developing ourselves.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about learning a skill. Maybe you only have 15 minutes a day. If you do that consistently, that adds up to way more mastery over time than, say, trying to cram in a 5-hour session once a month, which often never happens anyway.
Right. The consistency is the key.
Exactly. It's not about the intensity of one single effort. It's that relentless, steady drip, drip, drip of small actions. That's what compounds into major results long term.
So it combats that feeling of, if I can't dedicate a huge chunk of time, it's not worth starting.
Yes, that's a common trap. Naomi's message is the complete opposite. Those tiny, imperfect efforts, that's precisely where the exponential growth comes from.
It reframes effort then.
Yeah.
Not a sprint, but like an investment.
A compounding investment in your future self.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, that really does change how you view those small daily actions. I'm definitely guilty of waiting for that big block of time,
We all are, I think.
and then it never comes, and nothing gets done.
Eh.
Her approach makes you face that paralysis.
Yeah. And as she builds her own blueprint, she's incredibly open about it all.
How so?
Well, I found it really refreshing that she just comes out and says it. I can't do this work alone.
That takes vulnerability.
It does, but it's not positioned as weakness. It's framed as a powerful call for support, turning a need into this chance for mutual growth.
So what is she asking for?
She's actively looking for apprenticeship volunteers, people who want to learn and grow by actually serving alongside her.
Apprenticeship volunteers. In what areas?
She lists specific things: podcast production, maybe learning about government contracting, community building, creative design, practical skills.
Okay, so it's not just about helping her out. It's structured learning.
That's the emphasis. Mutual benefit. She says this isn't just about helping her, it's about building skills and opportunities that you can carry into your own future.
That sounds like a fantastic opportunity, especially if you're trying to get hands-on experience.
Absolutely. And this model, it's a great example of community building and that reciprocal learning idea in action.
How does it connect to the bigger picture?
If you think about scaling impact, it highlights something crucial. Knowing when to tap into your community, when to offer genuine growth opportunities. It's not just nice, it's smart strategy.
Right, it builds capacity.
Exactly. It fosters skills, expands networks for her and for the apprentices. It builds a stronger, more resilient ecosystem around the whole project. It's sustainable.
Makes sense.
Right.
What's the challenge with that model?
Well, the challenge is always managing those relationships effectively, ensuring there are clear learning paths, clear expectations, but her intentional framework seems designed to address that.
Okay, so if someone listening feels that pull, wants to learn in those areas, what do they do?
She gives a clear call to action.
Hmm.
You can text 813-563-1314 or head over to her Linktree, that digital anchor we talked about, linktr.ee Abundance Blueprint 777.
Got it. So beyond the podcast and the apprenticeship call, that Linktree really shows the sheer variety of what she does. Her products, partnerships, it's quite an ecosystem.
It really is.
For example, she wrote a book, a very personal one. I found out I had breast cancer on my lunch break. It's on Amazon for like $5.99.
Wow, that title is powerful.
Isn't it? And connected to that, she has merchandise like a fought and won. Breast Cancer Warrior Tee and another one, Warrior Energy Only, the shirt that speaks survival. They're $33 each, celebrating resilience.
Tying the personal story to tangible products.
Yeah. There's also a Sisters Feeding Sisters tee, promoting community empowerment. Also $33.
So personal story, advocacy, community, what else?
Well, she also offers business tools. There's something called Strategic Partnership Analysis in 2025 for people looking at their own ventures.
Okay, practical business resources too.
Right. And then there are affiliate links. She's very transparent that she might earn a commission. Things like discounts for AMC movies, AAA membership, Marley Spoon meal kits.
Everyday stuff.
Yeah, SoFi banking, Owl for networking, even voice cloning services. It's a really broad mix. Deeply personal stuff, practical business tools, everyday consumer things.
It's fascinating how she weaves it all together, isn't it? The personal journey, the practical tools, the everyday opportunities. It builds this multifaceted, really authentic brand.
How'd you categorize those different streams?
You could probably group them. First, there's the personal story and advocacy, the book, the Warrior Tees. That builds deep emotional connection.
Right.
Second, business strategy and growth. The partnership analysis, the apprenticeship program, that speaks directly to her entrepreneurial audience.
Makes sense.
And third, everyday utility, those affiliate links. They offer value in daily life, but also diversify her income.
So it's a deliberate strategy, diversifying income streams.
Absolutely. And leveraging that compelling personal story. It creates a really robust, resilient business model. She's not just relying on one thing.
Smart. Connects with different people on different levels.
Exactly. It's like a masterclass in creating multiple touch points for engagement and revenue,
Yeah.
all reinforcing her core message of empowerment and growth.
It does seem like a lot to manage, though, keeping quality high across so many different things.
That's always the challenge with diversification, for sure.
Yeah.
Maintaining focus and quality. But she seems to have developed her own blueprint for making it work.
It definitely feels cohesive, not random.
Yeah.
It all ties back to that core message.
Yeah.
And to kind of wrap up her philosophy, she offers this really powerful affirmation. It sums up everything we've been talking about.
Okay, what is it?
She encourages listeners to repeat, I honor my pace. I show up even when it's not perfect. My journey is abundant because I keep moving forward.
That really distills it down.
Doesn't it? Honoring your pace, showing up imperfectly, keeping moving forward, that's the engine.
Yeah.
And it links right back to her show's tagline.
Which
So we don't chase abundance, we blueprint it.
blueprint it. Active. Intentional. I like that. And it raises an important question, I think, for you listening.
What's that?
How could adopting a mindset like that, honoring your pace, showing up imperfectly, how could that transform your approach to your own challenges, your own goals?
That's a good question to sit with.
Because that intentional language, the self-affirmation like the one Naomi uses, it's a powerful tool. It helps maintain motivation, build resilience.
It's not just positive thinking then.
No, it's more active than that. It's about reprogramming that internal dialogue, training yourself to believe in consistent progress, even when things aren't perfect.
So the affirmation is like a concrete way to internalize these ideas.
Exactly. A daily reminder. Choose action over paralysis.
Yeah.
See every small step as part of your blueprint. It helps fight off that perfectionism that can be so crippling.
Wow. Okay, what a deep dive this has really been. We've unpacked Naomi Sadiq's message, showing up imperfectly, blueprinting abundance.
Yeah, lots to think about.
We've seen how that consistent, imperfect action, plus redefining balance in a more dynamic way. It's not just about getting through challenges, it's actively building a life of purpose.
And growth.
Right. Abundance isn't waiting for perfect timing, it's in that persistent progress. And often, as she shows, built with the support of a community. It's a really holistic view.
It truly is. And maybe a final thought to leave you with as you reflect on all this.
Go for it.
Consider which ball you might be trying to juggle perfectly right now in your own life. Just one thing. And ask yourself, how might letting that one drop, or maybe just prioritizing it differently, intentionally, how might that actually free you up to move forward more effectively on what really matters most to you right now?
Letting go to move forward.
Sometimes. It's a powerful question to carry into your own blueprinting journey. Makes you really examine where that pursuit of perfection might actually be holding you back.